Good morning and welcome to the Sky Spirit channel. It's good to be back and thank you so much to all of you who are here who have supported me over the last few difficult days, and it feels great to be back here, albeit with a determination to have a thicker skin and to keep going. So thank you for being here and it's lovely to see you. Hi Mandy. It's lovely to see you here. Thank you very much. I hope I'm not a bit rusty after my week off. I'm going to be on today. I'm going to come back next Tuesday because we've got a bank holiday. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do it 5 days a week. I think I might start doing 3 days a week, you know, just so I've got time to make some other content as well, because like it does take up a lot of time. I love doing this, but like the time off is sort of given me a little bit of time to think about it as well, and thought, do you know what, I should be thinking about doing other things for the channel as well along these lines. But obviously cutting down the days to maybe 3 days instead of 5 days would give me that time, but we shall see. But we're here this morning anyway, so this is all good, and I hope you can all hear me loud and clear because I have a new microphone. I've actually had it a week, but I haven't used it because I've done nothing for a week. So it's here, you'll be able to see it in the screenshot here. And I hope it sounds better than the old laptop microphone because it cost lots of money. Well, it cost a reasonable amount of money for me. And to think that it's just the same as the laptop microphone is a bit disappointing. But we shall see. So it should be sounding pretty good. So what we're going to do is look at the planetary positions for the day. We'll then do a quick collective reading, which could be directed at you. And then we will do the 24 card 12 piles of 2 card pick a card reading which I will explain when we get there, but which probably needs a better name than that. Good morning, Gav, how are you doing? And Charlene, oh Linda, you found us, brilliant. Linda, stick around until the end of this and I'll do you your 3 card reading at the end of this, because Linda has been trying to catch me live in the morning for quite some time and has been leaving all these lovely comments on my YouTube channel on the videos and that, but she hasn't been able to find me live. And then she tried this week and I've been like, not here. So Linda, stick around and we'll do your 3 cards at the end of this. Okay, so thank you so much for coming. And Mr. Steve, hi, how you doing? Right, astrology, you should all be feeling the love today in a rather passionate way, because we have the planet of love, which is Venus, and that's in Aries, which is a real fiery sign. And that's trining, so they're making this sort of pattern with Mars, which is the planet of war, in Leo, which is another fire sign. So what that all means is that you should be feeling passionate, but I mean sparks flying passionate. I mean like ardent, as in determined in love, and you know, quite bold. So enjoy it, but don't scare anybody off. Because your passion could be quite unbridled today. But then I suppose if everybody's passion is unbridled, then everybody should feel the same. But I don't know. I think it depends. I think if you're a fire sign, so if you're a Leo or a Sagittarius, or an Aries, then you're going to feel this like even more, because your natural sparks are, your natural embers are being blown on. Also, if you're ruled by Venus, so if you were Taurus or Libra, then I think it'll be quite effective as well. But everybody should be feeling that little bit of energy. Yes, Mr. Eve, cue the Barry White music. It is a Barry White music day. So if you have a partner, enjoy it. If you don't have a partner, enjoy it. There's all sorts of things that we can do these days. But anyway, enough of that. So we shall do a quick collective reading. Okie doke. Interesting cards. So we have the card of leadership, card of leading energy, the King of Wands here, and he's looking rather contemplative. So it looks like he's been considering a move. And then we have this Knight coming in who is going towards our King. So to me, that says that there is an event coming today emotionally into whoever, if this collective reading is for you, this will relate right directly to you. But if it's not, think of it as more of a collective thing. So this is romance, this is passion, and it's heading into your sort of sphere of influence at the moment. Now, it's a strange one because it's also our third card is we've got this Three of Swords reverse, which indicates a move away from heartbreak. So if you take these two cards together, they would be, right, we're going to look at this in a minute. These two cards would be the end of a period of heartbreak, the end of a period of upset, and then the moving in of a new event, which heralds a new passion, a new romance. And what a day for it. What a day for new passion, because that's all about the astrology today, is the sparks of new passion. And this is going to solve a crisis for you. It feels like that sort of new energy really mends some rifts in your heart, or mends some ways that you've been feeling down about yourself. So even if it's not like a new relationship passion, it could feel like just a new wave of energy that comes in and puts you back in the position of leader. Because even though this card came out first, to me it feels like these two cards work together to give the king back his crown. Okay, so it feels like you should allow that passion to flow through you in order that you can feel the energy return. Now, this king is a fire sign as well. So this king is like, represents the fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. So it's like your fire is going to be relit. Good morning, Nacy. So this really does tie in with the astrology. We like these cards. It's all about returning passions, returning fire, returning sparks. Somebody said to me yesterday, what was it? Don't let anybody dull your sparkle. So that can be your motto for the day ahead, and indeed for the weekend ahead. And if you're in the UK, you've got a bank holiday weekend to look forward to. So I hope you're doing something good. I always find bank holidays a bit disappointing, to be honest, because it's like that sort of expectation that you should be doing all these like wonderful things, like everybody else you think is doing wonderful things, you know, and then you sort of think, why am I wasting my time doing nothing? But I think in a normal weekend you just expect to do that, but I shan't be doing much for the weekend, so I'm just going to admit that right now. Okay, so I've been shuffling the cards while I've been talking, because what I'm going to do now is lay down 12 sets of 2 cards. So for this, you pick a number between 1 and 12 and think of a question, okay? Or you can pick more than one number. We're not stingy on this channel. You can pick as many numbers as you like, okay? And think as many questions as you like, and then I'll interpret the piles of 12 cards. Or what you can do is you can just listen to all the readings for today and take what resonates with you and cast aside anything that doesn't, because it's really that easy with tarot. You take what you want from it and you leave behind the things that you're not really that interested in. Good morning, Helena. How are you doing? So let's have a look. I'm going to give that one more shuffle here because I just like shuffling. Just wish I was better at it. Right, let's go for it. 12 piles of 2. Can we see these today? We do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, while I'm doing this as well, Linda, if you had a question in a specific question in mind that you wanted me to look at the end, type it in while I'm doing this, because it takes there's like a 30-second delay on like getting the questions from the chat. So if I finish and then ask you, I'll be like, oh, you've gone. And then, so if you've got a specific question for me, Linda, to look at after, then do type it in while I'm doing this, and I'll go back and find it, just because I know it takes ages to come through. So we have our 12 piles of 2 down. So let's have a look where we're going to start. We're going to start at number 6. Right, so we have the 6 of Cups reversed, and we have the Hanged Man upright. I always have to look at him twice, because that's the right way up for this card, but he's upside down, and my sort of small brain finds that difficult to comprehend. So We have a blast from the past, which isn't particularly positive. You might be looking back on the past thinking about something that you wish you could have done or wish you had done, or somebody you wish you were still with, or an emotional tie that you miss. It's something that's making you feel a little bit blue about the past comes up, and you feel like you should perhaps act on that, or you might feel, like when you feel like reaching back out to somebody from the past, that like drunk dialing your ex type of energy. That's this card, okay? And what this card then says, the Hanged Man comes in and says, whoa, put the brakes on that idea. What you need to do is don't rush into re-establishing any contact with the past. Don't rush into ideas about the past. The past is in the past because that's often where it needs to be, and it feels like sometimes you have to cut the ties, you have to cut the cords, and you have to move on. So this is saying don't rush in. Do not jump back into any relationships or rekindle anything from the past. Just leave it lying. What is that saying? Let sleeping dogs lie. That's what this card, the Hanged Man, is saying. Now, this is a major arcana card as well. So this is a powerful influence. This is like something which can be life-changing, and it really is enforcing that idea that you can't live in the past, okay? What's done is done, and you have to move forward and try to sort of just leave things as they are. It's like that saying that sometimes when you drop everything and it breaks all over the floor, sometimes you stop and you put it back all together. Sometimes you just walk straight through the mess and you keep going. And it's that is the energy of these two cards. Leave it all broken on the floor, keep going, keep walking, because the future is where you should be looking and not the past. So that was number 6, everybody. Good morning, Hi. Hi, is that how I would say your name? Hi. Yeah, I think it is. Right, number 5. Okay, so we've got the 4 of Cups reversed, and then we've got the Page of Swords. So my 4 of Cups is about waking up from a period of contemplation. You might have felt quite bored recently and felt like procrastinating or thinking about things or not quite sure which choices to make, okay? And it's like you felt like you didn't really have the energy to make the choices, and you weren't sure of yourself, and you sort of would rather just procrastinate about it and not make any decisions. That's our 4 of Cups here. And there you are, sitting under the tree and sort of looking forlornly at those 3 cups in front of you, missing the great big hand coming out the cloud behind you saying, hello, here's an opportunity, here's a chance, and you just ignored it. Okay, so when this card goes into reverse, we're saying good morning, Pamela. We're not saying that with this card. We're saying, okay, now you're going to turn around and you're going to take that cup from that hand that comes through that cloud. So it feels like you're waking up from this period, and then bang, in comes the Page of Swords. Now, this is a card that is the opposite of this card. So it's like your energy is doing a 180 here, and you're now becoming the seeker of knowledge, okay? The seeker of truth. And this Page of Swords is somebody who goes out and digs up what they want to find. So it's the kind of person who would decide on a project and then go and find out everything that they needed to find out about that particular subject online, or sort of studying or something. But teamed with this card, it feels like the way forward is going to become very obvious to you, and it feels like you'll be infused with the new energy, and this will feel like a sort of thing of the past. So that indecision and not quite sure which way to go, that is just going to pass really quickly. And look, we have clouds on that tarot card. And when you see clouds, you think confusion with tarot. And this is the sword is cutting through the confusion. So you're leaving behind this period of sort of, and you're just not quite sure what to do. And you're not even quite sure if you want to do anything or not, because you just want to be static. But you can't be static. And that's one of the things, isn't it, about life? It doesn't matter what you do, things change. And you either change with these things or you get left behind. And that was that energy. But now we're changing to, you're not getting left behind. You're not even just keeping up with the changes here. You're making changes, and you're making them based on knowledge which you've uncovered. You're making changes based on ideas which you've researched and answers that you've already found. Linda, I just saw you type in a question there. I'm just, I can never work out which way to go on the chat. Thank you, Mandy, for that. Is my heart true with love? I'm just keeping an eye on your question there. And just, Linda, by my heart, do you mean your heart, or are you talking somebody else's heart? Right, okay, number 4. Number 4. Okay, right. So, number 4. You're feeling a little bit anxious and stressed at the moment about something. It almost feels like you're having problems sleeping over something. And it feels like some plans that you had laid out and some progress that you'd made, and you'd sort of planned to go further with it. So you'd planned to expand on some ideas and some things that you were doing. It feels like those plans feel like they've been scuppered and the way has been blocked for you. And because of this, you're sort of in this a bit of a nightmare situation where you're sort of awake at night going, oh God, what am I going to do now? I can't do this and I can't do that, and I'm not quite sure which way to go. Because this card, this is a tricky one, because it's like when we're up this way, it's like, it's the kind of card where if you had a business, you would have started the business and now you would be looking at expanding overseas. So if you can relate that type of feeling to any part of your life where something was going well and you're looking to expand it, and then all of a sudden, whoop, it goes upside down 180 degrees, and all of a sudden those plans, something has put a, what is it with it? Oh, I'm trying to think of the saying for something which stops something. Something's put an obstacle in your way. That's the only thing I can think of. My brain is out of practice with putting words together in the morning. So it feels like your plans have been scuppered somewhat. But remember, the energy of this card is still like this. I read reversals as blockages, okay? So what this means to you is that, okay, you are having a bit of a nightmare at the moment, and you might be laying awake at night or finding it difficult to concentrate because you can't get your head around where you're going with your plans, okay, when they're like this. But this energy is still with you. It's not that these plans that you had and the progress that you've made has gone for good. It's not been taken from you, okay? The rug has been pulled out from under your feet a little bit, but the full energy of the card is still with you. So it's just like the message of these two cards together would be, rein yourself back in. Stop stressing about it, okay? Because it's still going to happen. It's just, it might not happen in the way that you thought it would, or it might take a little bit longer, or there might be a few other things that need to unfold first. But one thing that you can't do is change the outcome of things by worrying about them, okay? Because all you're doing is putting yourself in a negative frame of mind. And remember, where our thoughts go, our energy flows, and where your energy flows, that's where you manifest, yeah? So if you can, it's not easy, is it, to be like, oh, let's be positive just like that. It's not that easy. Otherwise we would all be perfect human beings running through life manifesting everything that we wanted. But just try to do that. Try to mindfully change your mindset from anxiety and stress to waiting again for this energy to re-manifest. Charlene, you might be well right there, I think, to re-manifest so that you can continue forward. So just hang back, ditch this card, let's bin it. In fact, I wish I could just chop it up. But unfortunately, I always, you know, the tarot have negative and they have positive, wagwan uba. But that's because life has negatives and positives. If I went through my tarot cards and just burnt and chopped up all the cards that I didn't like, then none of the readings would make sense, because they would all just be love and light, and I might as well be reading oracle cards then. Not that all oracle cards are like that, but a lot of them are, I think. Anyway, that's my opinion. Number 3. Okay, number 3. Right, so that's a strange one. So we've got, right, you feel like you've failed in an ambition somehow, okay? There's a feeling of failing in an ambition, and feeling like lots of things that you've learned in the past, or skills that you accumulated, or perhaps an education, or perhaps stuff at work. You've put in a lot of work, and it feels like, you know, it feels like you feel like it's failed in some way. But the cards are telling you that no, it hasn't, all right? Because what you've got round the corner is the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands is one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. It's a celebration. It's about harmony. It's about stability. It's about, look at this couple. They are messing about with their grapes, okay? Because grapes, when you see grapes in tarot, this is like, the grapes are hard to grow. So when you see these people enjoying playing with their harvest, it means that they've put a lot of effort in, and now they are able to reap the rewards of their harvest, okay, which is bringing them great stability, harmony and happiness, okay, because they're a happy couple. They've got a lovely house, they've got sort of, it's all nice gardens and stuff, and everything looks really nice for them. So what we're seeing here is you're being reminded that you're not a failure, and like all the things that you've done mean something, and they're all leading up to this period of stability for you. Okay, so it feels like you might have been going through a bit of a negative, down on yourself period, okay? And you're being reminded not to do that, because you have the skills, you've put in the work, and it's time that you utilized what you have and went through that portal. Now, this is what we call a portal card, okay? And this guy here, stonemason, is chipping away, making his pentacles, and he's being told, yep, you're really good, you've passed go, collect £200 and go straight through that door and become a even better stonemason. So that's the full energy of that card. So with it being blocked at the moment, what that would mean is you're just not giving yourself the recognition that you deserve, okay? Because that doorway is open to you, and that leads to this position of stability for you, this position of, if you had learnt something, this would be where it manifested as your perfect job, or if you had put a lot of the work in on a project, this would be the perfect manifestation of it. It's also the marriage card as well, so it's also one of those cards that it's just about harmony in all respects, emotionally, relationship, work wise, money wise, it's all good, okay? But it feels like you've blocked yourself because you're not giving yourself that recognition. So give yourself a pat on the back and believe in yourself. Thank you, Charlene. Believe in yourself. Everybody needs to believe in themselves. Number 2. Wow, more excellent cards here. So we have number 2, we have, first of all, we're going to look at the Four of Swords reversed. This card is like, this is a kick in the butt card. It's like, okay, right, it's time to stop sitting on the back seat. It's time to wake up, right? Because this is, when this card is like this, it's like the big sleep. It's like being exhausted and needing to rest, needing to pull back. And when we do this, we tip this man out of bed. So you metaphorically, the mattress is being tipped up and you are being prompted to move forward. You, again, this is so like the Four of Cups and the Page of Swords. It's like the period of contemplation, the period of hanging back, taking things slowly, not acting, being passive. That's over. Now you're in a period where you are going to jump out of bed in the morning. You know, when you, have you tried this? When you, when you jump out of bed, right, and throw the duvet up, and the idea is to get out of the bed, right, before the duvet comes down on top of you again. So you like lay in bed, decide to get up, throw the duvet up into the air, and then you get up and you're out before the duvet comes back down. That's this card. Now, I'm laughing because it just reminds me of the time when I tried to do that, and like I threw the duvet up in the air and it hit this, like I had a canvas, like a box canvas like that one hanging over my bed, great big one, like it's a 36 by 24 inch canvas, and I hit it with the duvet and it fell onto the top of my head, so donk, and I had a black eye. So that was like, it hit right on the corner of my eyebrow. It was like boom. So it didn't work out for me that day. But yeah, try not to get hit by any paintings, but that is what you need to do. Throw the duvet up, get out of bed before it comes back down, because you have this to look forward to. So this is the twin of this card. Four of Wands, marriage. 10 of Cups, marriage, but it's also a card of domestic bliss. emotional bliss, emotional wholeness, harmony, abundance, joy, happiness, all these things. Okay, so what these two cards are saying to you is like you literally have the best, happiest time of your life just around the corner, and all you have to do is get out of your bed before the duvet comes back down in the morning. All right, so you need that energy, that wow, let's embrace the day, seize the day, whatever the Latin is for that, I do not know, but you know there's that saying, isn't there? That's that, because you're going to get that, right? This is where you're heading. This is like one of the best cards in the deck. The Four of Wands is pretty good as well, but this is an upgrade even on that, because it's more, there's about a 4 stability, but the 10 is completion. So it's like it's talking about all the work that you've put in, all the effort that you've put in. It could have been over years, okay? When you now regenerate your energy, when you now reignite your passion, it's all going to pay off. It's like the end of a cycle. It's a 10, it's a completion. Okay, that's why they associate it with marriage, because marriage is supposed to be the completion of a cycle, and then it's bliss forever. But it can apply to other things, of course, but it's cups, so it usually means that there's a big emotional attachment to it. So whatever this thing is, it's something that you are really, really, it's really in your heart. You should really feel happy about it. So these are great cards to have for the weekend. Number one, what do we have? Right, so we have got the Seven of Cups reversed. So it feels like, it might feel like your hands are tied at the moment and you feel like you've got no choices. It could also feel like your dreams have been a little bit shattered in some respects. And it can feel like you don't feel like you have very many options ahead of you. And this feels like it's to do with money. And it could be to do with avenues of money being cut off, or particularly money in the family, money associated with close friends and family can feel like it's a bit risky at the moment, and it feels like you're not quite sure which way to go with these particular financial problems. Now I'm going to pull another card for this. Again, we've got money, we've got instability with money. That's a reversed Four of Pentacles, which is about, if you see this guy, when he's upside down, when he's that way up, his money's all, look, he's grabbing it, he's keeping it close to him. When he's this way up, it's like it's running through his fingers. So these cards would say to me that there's financial risk for you at the moment, and it feels like you think you've got very few choices and you're being channeled towards certain decisions, and avenues are being cut off for you in some respect. So the advice from this card, I'm pulling another one, we've got 4 cards on this. The advice for you, I wanted some advice on this, would be, it's the Chariot reversed. So basically this is about do not drive forward. That's driving forward. So you're going to have to hang back on this. Don't push. Just wait to see what will happen, because it feels like this bad energy at the moment financially, and you're feeling like you've got no choices. Okay, it's something that you can't just push through. If you push through, it ain't going to work out. You need to be the Chariot in reverse. Okay, put your Chariot in reverse and hang back, become objective, become the observer, not the participant. All right, because these energies playing out, they're about financial instability, they're about having your choices cut off. But it's not one of those situations where it's like, yeah, just drive the horses, we'll make more choices, we'll just go through things and sort them out. It feels like you're going to have to rest on your laurels, okay, and wait for this energy to change, and for things to right themselves a bit financially for you. So not wonderful cards financially there for you if you have gone on number 1. And it's that Uber, I hope you haven't been banned from driving if you've chosen number 1. But I mean, yeah, you could be that literal with the reverse Chariot. So yeah, it could possibly be to do with that, but it's not something that you can force. That's what the cards are saying. Right, we're going to go for number 12. Number 12, these are interesting cards. So we've got the 3 of Cups reversed, and then we have got the Lovers reversed. Okay, so the Lovers reversed can be about poor choices. but it can also be about being unreliable and people being fickle. So it's like you've tried to make a choice about something, and I want to just have a think about this one. You've tried to make a choice about something between two options, it feels, but it feels like you're having to do that because this is a card of overindulgence. So the two of them together, they sort of jar off each other, because this one would be about having to make a choice and those choices being unreliable and you're not being sure. And then it feels like we've got overindulgence coming in and a lack of joy. So it's like you're going to have to decide between two things, but neither of those options seem to be giving you much joy at the moment. And it feels like you're going to have to make that decision based more on your head than on your heart. So we're going to have to abandon the Three of Cups energy, which is to just go with the flow, choose whatever makes you happy. Because this Lovers card is really saying to you, okay, this is an unreliable choice. So we need to abandon the heart, okay? And let's have a clarifier. Oh, right, okay. And we've got justice. I was looking at that going, it is justice, isn't it? Yeah. We've got justice, but it's turned upside down as well. So we've got a reverse justice. So it feels like you're going to have to make a decision that goes against what you think is natural justice. So it's not going to be one that you make with your heart, and it feels like it's going against justice, but it's a decision. It's a tough one. It's a tough decision that you're going to have to make. Goodbye, hi, have a good weekend. I've just noticed you've said goodbye to us all. So it's a really tough decision. It's not one that you make with your heart. It's not one for joy. And it's not one that makes you feel a sense of justice. So it's one of those things that you make a decision grudgingly, but you're going to have to do it anyway. Yeah. You're going to have to bite the bullet, swallow your pride, whatever you want to call it. And you're just going to have to power through and make the decision. Okay. Even though it's not necessarily what you would have wanted. Okay. So that's the number 12 interpretation. Number 11. So we've got the King of Swords reversed and the Ace of Swords upright. So the King of Swords reversed can be a very negative influence, very male negative influence. It's an air sign, so it could be like a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or that sort of energy. It's intellect, but it's used for manipulation. Okay, now this is a disruptive energy. It doesn't have to be a man. It could be the masculine element of a female, or it can even just be a situation. Okay, that's how nuanced the tarot are, and that's how they like to confuse us all, by being either a man, a woman, or a situation. But it feels disruptive. It feels like disruptive energy. Okay, that's been pressing down on you and making you feel like somebody's out to get you. Yeah. And it feels like oppression. It feels like it's been really unsettling to you. And even if you haven't like consciously acknowledged where it's coming from, it feels like you've been under a little bit of a black cloud, shall we say. But what we have here, same suit. So this is this situation being turned round here. Wish the sun would stop shining on my sparkly cards, or my gilded cards, I should say. That's better. I've closed the curtains a bit. So this is this person being slain. Look, they're going to fight like this. Just chop this one up, okay? Because that negative situation has now been defeated by the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, look, we've got clouds, so we've got the hand of truth cutting through the clouds of confusion, okay? And it's going to make the way clear for you. So the negative energy is being dispelled. We've chopped up the King of Swords reversed, and now you're powering forward, and now you have the truth in your hand, and you have the energy, and you have, I thought that, Charlene, as well. I thought there, this might be mine too. So I have no, stop making it the me train. It's turning this energy on its head. It's now you are in the position of power. Now you are going into battle with this great big sword of power in your hand. You've slain the King of Swords. You've left him broken on the way, and it's about you now. It's about moving forward. It's about using this energy to sort of make your path clearer and to focus. Let's be a little bit selfish with this as well. Let's talk about, all right, don't just like always fight for other people. Fight for you too. This is your time to move forward. Use some of your energy to push yourself forward over this next few days. So these are really exciting cards. And when you see swords together as well, it's like it's conflict, and it can be internal conflict as well. And so these two cards can be very much, doesn't have to be somebody else. It can be an internal conflict, but you've slain the negativity and you will move forward in a much stronger position. Right, number 10. Number 10, we have the 10 of Swords, and then we have the 7 of Wands reversed. So the 7 of Wands reversed. Now that's an interesting card because it talks about feeling like people that are in competition with you are trying to sort of take your crown, so to speak. It's like adversity. It's like feeling that people around you can't be trusted, feeling like there's a team around you who are being negative or could be sort of not acting in your best interests. It feels like you're being overtaken by them, that they're working in the background, and it's not a great thing. Now, I want to draw your attention to this, and I want you to look around you and try to find out what it is that's sort of unsettling the energy around you, because we also have a card here, the 10 of Swords, but luckily this is reversed. So what this is indicating is that it's something that you are going to do, or something that you are doing at the moment, is averting a major catastrophe. I say major catastrophe, I don't mean like something that is world ending. I mean something that would be something that you would rather avoid. All right, the good news is that you seem to have avoided it, because it feels like there's a battle going on, but there's somebody working against you. And I hate saying things like that, because I think about people going on through the day like sort of, you know, not trusting the people around them and looking at those around them thinking, is it you, but I'm just telling you like it is. And it really is indicative of somebody in your team who isn't working for your best interests. Now, so far, you've managed to avoid whatever crisis could occur because of their sort of meddlesome doings and what they're doing behind the scenes. But what I would do, I've just pulled a clarifier here. It feels like you are stuck with them and you're not quite sure how to get away from them either, or from this situation. So it feels like you need to put quite a lot of energy into deciding how you're going to fell the beast, okay? So you need to decide how to do this, which is leaving the situation, getting in your boat and hot footing it, or hot sailing it off into the distance, okay? Away from Mr. or Mrs. Negativity, or this situation which is working against you. And when I see these cards together, I feel like it's dishonesty. It's something, you know, that's in the background, like backstabbing. And when you see the 10 of Swords, some readers call it this being stabbed in the back card, okay? So it's that sort of two-faced feeling. All right, you need to identify it, you need to move away from it, but it does feel like the steps that you've already taken, you have avoided it causing too many problems, but it needs to be exorcised, needs to be got rid of, so the cycle doesn't continue and you don't fall down a similar sort of hole, and it might cause you future problems. So just try to do that. Number 9. Oh, Kaza, is Kaza not here? We have Kaza's special card today. We have the man weighing on his cabbages. Yay! So this is actually the 7 of Pentacles, and I'll never ever be able to look at this card in the same way again. And we have the Knight of Swords. So what we have here is this guy has actually put in a lot of work into his harvest, okay? And it now feels like he's able to reap the rewards of that harvest. So it's reaping the rewards of the work put in. But then we have the Knight of Swords galloping in, which is an event that comes quickly, okay? He's the fastest knight in the deck, and it's something that happens very quickly to you, and it sort of brings in a little bit of a fast decision that you have to make, but the spoils are waiting for you to be harvested, okay? So it's like there's going to be almost like a last minute sort of dash about something. It's and you're going to have to make some quick decisions, all right? But positivity is shining on you, and you're being told, be like the knight, be bold and be brave and make your decisions, okay? Because it's like, you're going to have to be really streamlined. The knight is somebody who just doesn't dally around, okay? They don't sort of mess around and think, oh, I'm not quite sure of myself and I don't really know what to do. They sort of just get in there, make the decision, because that's what you're going to do in order to reap the rewards of your harvest. But look how happy this man is looking at his metaphorical cabbages, okay? He's ever so pleased because he's done ever so well and he's about to get the reward of it, okay? But there's a decision or decisions that have to be made in haste before that happens. So look out for those and make them with confidence. Have the confidence in your choices. Number 8. Okay. Oh, right, so we've got the Tower and we've got the High Priestess reversed. So these cards to me say that there's a situation that you're heading for a bit of a fall, all right? And it says to me that you know this. Your intuition has been trying to tell you this for a while, all right? There's something which isn't working in your life and you've known about it for a while, okay? So it's heading towards a point, a tower moment. That when there's a tower moment in your life, it's like nothing will be the same after it that was the same before it. Does that make sense? Nothing will be the same after as was before. Yeah, I think if you understand what I mean. And when the tower moment happens, when the tower moment strikes, the tower's hit from above and it crumbles to the foundations, all right? So it's like it's been built. Think Three Little Pigs, house made of straw, okay? Gone. Yeah, but this has to happen because whatever this is has to be rebuilt from the ground. Strong houses have strong foundations. Ask any little pig about that. They all know the story of the big bad wolf, okay? This is the big bad wolf moment, but rather than huffing and puffing, the tower is struck by lightning. So it's like a sudden bang and the cards fall. The tower drops to the ground, but it's needed to happen because it has to be rebuilt. And the thing is, your intuition has been telling you this for a while, okay? And you've been ignoring it. So now we're at the position where you're going to have to rebuild, I think, from the bottom up in order to build stronger foundations. And I am pulling another card here, and we've got the Nine of Wands as well, which is the wounded warrior card. And this is always makes me think of sort of, you've gone through so much and you feel like you've battled so much adversity, okay? And there's so many obstacles in your path. And it feels like just falling down another hole in the road. But this card is there to remind you that you have battled through. You are resilient. Resilience is one of your key positive traits, and the fact that you're still here after all that you've been through should give you strength that you can get through this tower moment, okay? You can get through any crisis and rebuild, all right? Because you have the resilience, but you must learn to listen to your intuition about people, places, things, everything, okay? So listen to the voice within, okay? If you haven't had your tower moment yet, it could well be that you could avert this by listening to your intuition. So just be careful. Just tune in to that voice within and make sure that you are following it and not being swayed by other people, because you know your own decisions, don't you? So I'm just going to pull one more card, I'm afraid. Okay, right. Just a clarifier, because I don't like it when things are negative. A clarifier, just keep pulling them till it's positive. But no, that was the next card was the Sun card, and that would be reminding, with this little 4-card spread I've now got going on here, this is a reminder that once things have been rebuilt from foundations, you have so much more sunshine to look forward to, okay? Follow your intuition, listen to your voice inside, rebuild things, knock things down. Like when you build something, out of Lego or something and the bottom of it's crap, but you just keep building and keep building. I do this with painting, right? I'll be painting something and I'll be like, really, this is rubbish, this is rubbish. And I'll just keep putting more and more things and doing more and more things to it. And it's never going to be good, right? Because the foundations were bad. It would have been better just to paint over the whole thing and start again. The same as when you're building something from Lego and the bottom of it's crap, then you need to get rid of it and start again. So have a look. If you've chosen these, number 8, have a look and just identify what is it that is your tower. What is it that you need to take? Imagine you are a kid on a beach, and you know when you look and you see a sandcastle and like, what's that thing that loads of kids do this? They run towards it and they hoof it down, they boot it over, and then you rebuild. All right, so find your tower, find your castle in the sand and boot it into the sand and rebuild. Number 7. Okay, so we've got, there was an end of a relationship or the end of a feeling of harmony, emotional harmony with you, and you might have retreated into yourself. So this could be the actual end of a relationship, or it could be the end of a stage of a relationship, or it can also be just the end of a feeling of harmony with yourself. So the end of something happened and it made you feel like you wanted to be the hermit. So you wanted to withdraw. All right. That's not always a bad thing because we need to get ourselves sorted and our heads sorted. Okay. But this is a hermit reversed. Now, what the hermit reversed says to you is, okay, right, you've spent enough time being the hermit. Now you have to get back on the horse and gallop back out. Oh, Uber mentioned a horse as well. That's about the 4th time I've mentioned horses this morning in various ways. So interesting. What is that noise? I feel like my cats are having a party. So this card is saying it's time to come out of your shell again. It's time to straighten your crown and it's time to get back on the horse and continue. Okay, get back out. All right, it might have felt like the harmony had gone from your life, or even if a relationship has ended and you felt so bad, because the 2 of Cups, of course, is the relationship card. Look how happy and wonderful these people are, and then let's tip them upside down and watch all their wine pour out of their glasses and spill away all over the floor. All right, we've all been there, if not with other people then with ourselves. Okay, it doesn't feel good, but it has to happen. Remember the law of balances. You can't have good without bad, etc., etc. And this feels awful, and for a while after it we might just wallow, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. And when you wallow, you are the hermit, yeah. And what the hermit does is not just wallow, but he goes introspective. He goes within himself to find answers in order to light his way forward, i.e. look, he's got a lantern. The tarot gives us these clues all the time. That's why it's pictures. So that's what being the hermit is. It's going introspective. It's learning about yourself. But when we're looking at him reversed, it's now the hermit saying, okay, this time of introspection's over. Let us get back on track. And so that is your message for the next few days. Time of contemplation's over, back on track. And funnily enough, that is the same as, similar to the messages of number 5, and there was another one as well, number 5 and number 3, I think, and number 7 have all been similar messages this morning about time of contemplation and so on and so forth. It's over. Time to straighten your crown, remind yourself what an absolutely awesome unicorn you are, and gallop off into the distance, which is a happy future. So I'm just going to give my cards a really good shuffle, and then I'm going to find Linda's messages, and I'm going to do Linda, our new person here. Linda, hope you've subscribed to the channel. And I hope you've all subscribed to the channel. That would be really good if you could, if you have not. Because it takes you a second, it costs you nothing, but it makes me happy. Right. Linda, is my heart going to be finally be true, harmony and peace? Let me just see, is that the only bit you've put in? Thank you, Charlene. Yes, you can book a full reading through my websites. skyspirit.co.uk if you would rather. These are just little quick readings I'm doing, so we can all get a little bit of guidance and laughter in the morning. Oh my goodness, Uber, you're talking about the horse again. You're yeah. Right, I think with Linda. Linda, okay, so is Linda's heart going to be finally true in harmony and peace? All right, so I'm asking the tarot for Linda. Is Linda's heart finally going to be true with harmony and peace for Linda? What do you say, tarot? Let's have a look. Right, so Linda, I have a knight in reverse. I have a dark knight of pentacles in reverse in your past, which feels like it's a situation or a male who has caused you to feel really sad, because the next card is the Three of Cups reversed, which is that feeling of things used to be celebrated, but the passing of this person or this energy caused you to really go within yourself and feel so sad and like you didn't want to celebrate anymore. And that's also teamed with our Page of Pentacles reversed, which feels like it can be a loss of employment or a loss of financial stability and a loss of direction as well. So it feels like there's a lot of loss associated on an emotional level and on a more sort of practical level as well, which has led to you feeling this sense of the party's been over for a while for you, Linda. And it feels like you've had that sense of doom and gloom a little bit, because you should have it needed to be left behind. Now the final card that I had for you here is a great card. It's the Eight of Cups, all right, and it shows somebody, if you look closely at this card, Linda, what that person's doing is they're walking away from a situation that's emotional, all right. They've turned their back on it, they're heading towards the mountains, right? What that means is that you have to turn your back on what happened to you. You have to let go of the past, all right? It feels like you're stuck in the past with this situation. You have to turn your back. You have to not look round, okay? So you don't pay any heed to things that happened in the past, and you stride forward to the mountains, okay? Because when you get to the mountains, in tarot, mountains are challenges. And when you climb to the top of a mountain, when you look back on your life, you see it with a new perspective, and you will see it and go, why was I so bothered about this? Why was I so bothered about this? Why did I let it take my happiness and suck my joy from me? Because it really wasn't worth it, okay? You will get a new perspective. Now, what I also have, pulling 1, 2 clarifier, we've also got you heading towards a much more positive situation, because I have the Magician. The Magician is the manifester, okay? And we have you here as the Queen of Pentacles, who's an earthy, practical person who can put things into work. So these two cards together are you manifesting this future and manifesting something new coming into your life. And it feels like, I'm going mad with the cards here, feels like you've got a Five of Swords. You've got rid of the past, you've moved forward, and it's only then that you will find that you're able to manifest what your heart desires, which will put you in the position of feeling like the Queen of Pentacles again, which is the somebody who's happy in their own skin, somebody who has what they need around them, okay, to make them happy. And that's financially, because it's Pentacles, as well as of the heart. But it feels like these two cards are key. You've got to turn your back on the past and walk away without looking back, all right? Because your happiness isn't there. Only then will you be the Magician who manifests the future, and the battle is done. Look, this guy has won. He's looking round. He's won these people's swords. He moves forward. you manifest the future, you become the queen that you truly are. Okay, so yes, Linda, your heart will beat, you will find your love and you will find happiness and harmony, but it's not as simple as it just sort of turning on a coin for you. Nobody is just going to waltz into your life and do it for you. Okay, it's you that's going to have to turn your back on the past. It's you that's going to have to strive forward. Okay, so I hope that resonates with you, Linda. And do keep coming back, because we'd like to see you here. I hope that resonates with you, Linda, and please keep coming back. If you put your notifications on, you should be able to see when I am live. Mandy, will my daughter's graduation week events go well next week? Will I pull it all together without losing my mind? I don't need the cards to tell you this, Mandy. You probably will lose your mind. I can imagine that sort of organisation is it's one of those situations, isn't it, where it's stressful. I've got my daughter's graduation in July and I'm stressing about it already, not least because I have to go to her graduation meal with her dad. And we don't speak all that often, but of course we will put our differences aside for our daughter's graduation. But it could, I mean, I think his wife might be there as well, which make me feel a little bit awkward, but I'm a mum, so I will be there. Right, Mandy, will my daughter's graduation week go well next week? All right, let's just have a look here. Oh, absolutely. Right, so we've got the Knight of Cups, right, which is romance, passion. It's something good coming in. It's creativity. It's enjoyment. It's an event which causes great emotional pleasure, and it's creativity as well. So it's like you are able to put things together. And then you've got the Fool card. Now the Fool isn't foolish, it's new beginnings. So it feels like that sense of these happy events make you feel like, you know, it's like when you step out on a new journey, and that's your daughter stepping out on a new journey, but it also feels like it's a new start for you as well, Mandy. So it feels like that full energy of newness, full energy of just getting things right, starting things again, having that sense of freedom. The Fool feels very free. He's got lots of confidence because he hasn't been knocked down by life yet. He hasn't been sort of jaded and made to feel like things don't work out for him. So it feels like both of you are going to have a really enjoyable time. And Linda, someone calls you the queen. You are the queen, my darling. You are the queen, but you have to turn your back on the past. Charlene, am I putting my faith into the right people? Let's have a look. We shall see. So, Charlene, am I putting my faith into the right people? Well, I feel like for a start, you've got the card that says you're exhausted. This is the card. Remember, when he's this way, he needs to have a really good rest. Okay, and it feels like you might have stuck around in this situation for too long. And this card was just pulled, but as you saw, I did shuffle. When he's up this way, okay. Remember I said before when I was talking to Linda, this is you walking away without looking back. When it's this way up, it feels like you're exhausted and you've stayed around with something for too long, all right? You've stayed around when you should have walked away and not looked back at it. So it feels like I would say that you need to, again, you need to see where you've actually not walked off where you should have done, because you've got the Five of Pentacles as well, which is about a bit of like financial loss. So it feels like there's a financial thing tied in here as well, which could lead to financial loss. So whatever the situation is, it feels like it's wearing you out. It feels like you've stuck around with it too long. You need to make some decisions. You need to draw some lines in the sand, because it feels like there's financial loss associated with that as well. So Sorry, they're not massively positive cards there, but I hope that answers the question for you. Cheyenne Blue, are the steps I'm taking now going to come to fruition and change my life for the better? Thank you. Oh, that's a nice question. Do you know, I just wish that when people ask me questions, I could just lay out the cards and it just all be such like love and joy and light. Because I hate giving people bad news, but it's one of the things that you learn when you're reading tarot, that you can't, things aren't just happy, happy, happy. They're just not. But I've seen some readers who will really just like, they'll deliver the bad news and they just say it in the worst way possible. I mean, I used to go out with somebody years ago, and I always remember this. He was never allowed to have a blue car because his mother had seen a tarot reader like 20 years beforehand, and she told him her son was going to die in a blue car in a crash. And it's like, what? Why would you even say that? And you see how just these things can affect people's lives forever, and the consequences of saying something like that. I mean, I doubt very much any tarot reader would see that on cards. It's more of a clairvoyant thing, but to say that, even if you'd seen it, was like scandalous. They should be struck off. So, right. So, sorry, I'm digressing. Cheyenne Blue. See, I'm really happy to be black. No, I'm really happy to be back. I said I'm really happy to be black, which I have been out sunbathing, but I'm not quite there yet, but I will be. But, right, Cheyenne Blue. The steps I'm taking now are going to come to fruition. I'm trying to focus here now and change my life for the better. For the better. Yes. Yes, they are. We have, for you, we have the Six of Wands, which is the it's going into battle and winning. Okay, it's a card of progress, it's a card of winning battles, it's a card of sort of winning over adversity. It's like when if you look at the picture, always look at the picture. He's on his horse, he's been to battle, he's now galloping home, and he's got that like little bouquet on his wand, on his stick, on his staff. Because what's happened is, you know, like in the olden days, when you won, you sort of got festooned with flowers. So this is what's happened. He's won the battle. Now, what you've got here as well is you've got the star, which is the card of hope, and it's also like seeing your name in stars. So it's a really positive card when you're asking something like, is this going to do my life good? Is my life going to change for the better? It is. You've won. You're going towards a position of hope. You're following your star. You're following your true heart's desire, which leads you to a good place. Now, you've also, strangely enough, got the Lover's card as well, which would indicate to me that this might bring you closer to another person as well. This position that you're moving to almost like brings another person into your energetic influence as well. So you could well find that somebody draws closer to you and a relationship becomes better, or there's a new relationship involved in your new path, which becomes a focus for this hope and for this sort of good things as well. Charlene, yes, you can have those cards as well. Right, I think I have done everything. Why is Casper getting cold? Because I told him honestly I want only friendship. I'm still healing from the past relationships. Is that a question for me, Namira? I think it is, isn't it? Right, let me just read that while I focus. Why is Casper getting cold? Because I told him honestly I want only friendship. Still healing from past relationships. I only put boundaries because he was constantly cashing. What does constantly cashing mean? Should that be calling? The mirror, first of all, I think we don't need the cards to answer one of those questions, is that, or to make one comment, that you put boundaries up that you feel are needed, okay? And that feels like a really, really good thing to do, is to put boundaries up, because like if you only want friendship because you're still healing from the past, put the boundaries up. So if he's getting cold, then, you know, so be it. Allow him to get constantly chasing. Okay, I'm with you. So it feels like, you know, why would you allow him to constantly chase you? I think he needs to be put right, doesn't he? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Why is Casper getting cold? Maybe it's a good thing if Casper does get cold, because he shouldn't be chasing you if you've told him you only want friendship. Let's have a look. Okay, right, yeah. So, first of all, I've got a card of inner strength, which is you. Okay, so there you are, major arcana card. So it's something that is an important thing, all right? And it's important that you are exercising inner strength, okay? It's important that you, as we've just mentioned, are putting these boundaries up, because that is exercising your sovereignty over yourself and telling people how they can treat you. Because remember, the people only treat you as you allow them to, all right? So what you're doing is correct, because the card that I have next seems to indicate him, because this is the Hanged Man reversed, and it feels like he is frustrated, impatient, will not wait, okay, is pushing, and it feels like it's really important to him as well, but he's not respecting your boundaries. If he's doing this, the Hanged Man isn't hanging around, he's pushing forward, okay? Feels to me like your final card is the Two of Wands. Now, the Two of Wands is telling me that you need to go back to the drawing board and start to replan what you're doing, because this guy Casper, or girl Casper, doesn't feel like they have a part in your life in the future. It feels like you need to, as I said, go back to the drawing board and restart, because a two is making plans. And if you can see here, this person has the world in their hands. This is saying to you, the world is your oyster, okay? Start to plan again. He or she is doing you no good, okay? You just need him. I can see it's a him from the chat here. You need to, if you've told him many times and he's not respecting your boundaries, then something needs to be done about him, because he needs to get out the way, because you've got plans. The world is your oyster. There could even be travel with this card. It can also talk about overseas travel as well. So don't let this person hold you back. And why is he going cold? Because he's not getting his own way, Namira. That's why he's going cold. But, you know, don't let him bully you into something that you don't want to do. So, yeah, I'm getting bad vibes off that. Right, Sue, will I find my soulmate? Namira, you're very welcome. All right, so last one for this morning. Sue, will I find my soulmate? Or one of them, because we have more than one soulmate, so I believe. Right. Okay, right. This is quite straightforward. So, Sue, you've been through heartbreak, you're moving away from heartbreak, okay? We then have judgment. Okay, so it feels like there's a change of direction. You're at a crossroads. It's time to choose which way that you're going to go. You need to choose which path that you're going to take. Now, the final card, simple. I love a 3 card because they're so direct. The final card is the 6 of Cups reversed, and this is telling me that it's a little aid for which decision you must make to find your soulmate. It's not somebody from your past, put it like that. Okay, the crossroads you're at and the path that you must take is going into the future with a new perspective. You're going to find your soulmate in a new and unexpected place. It's not somebody that you already have ties with. It's not somebody that's from your past, okay? It's somebody that's very new to you. So there we go. That was short and sweet, but that was very, very much what I got from the cards. Cheyenne Blue, as for my reading, can't be bothered with new love interests. They only bring drama and headaches. I'm with you on that. Stay single and live my life on my own terms. I am so with you on that. I have never been happier since I made that decision too. So I am totally with you on that. I think we have covered everything there. I think we have, and it's 11:38, so I should let you get back to your lives. Sue, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for being with me this morning. As always, it has been an absolute pleasure, and believe me, it gives me more joy than I'm sure it gives you. Okay, so it's all about me in the mornings, because it sets me up for the day, and it's wonderful. So I will see you on Tuesday. Have a fantastic day ahead. Have a great, yes, Charlene, final question. Do we have a sparkly sky spirit back? You do. I will not let anybody dull my sparkle. And we should all repeat that. I will not let anybody dull my sparkle. That is the affirmation for the day. It's been lovely spending time with you. I hope you will come back Tuesday, 10:30, and have a wonderful weekend.